Well, I must admit, I was completely surprised and caught off guard by you guys' response to my last video, the Imagine video. I wasn't sure what to expect with that video because I knew it was going to be a little bit hot and heavy, but I was very pleased and very pleasantly surprised, in fact, that you guys responded so well. I mean, outstanding comments, great support. Thumbs up to you guys. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much that meant to me. But I did want to address a couple of concerns that I did notice in some of the comments. Some of you think that we are changing format completely to this new format, and no, that's not true. This is just merely another tool in our armada of things that we're going to be bringing to you as far as new content. So as we're doing traveling and everything, you're going to see a lot more of that type of content just embedded into our current content. The other thing I know some of you were worried about is that we're going to be doing less sailing because of the new format, and no, that couldn't be further from the truth either. Since you guys gave me the freedom to quit my day job there back, about 6 weeks ago when we left Grenada, we have been moving non-stop.
And we have been filming everything from the walking, hiking, and driving across the islands, all the sailing along with my captain's logs with weather routing, route planning, navigation, squalls at sea, and lots of little tips and tricks about sailing around these islands that I've known for so long.
And to all the new patrons that signed up and helping and support us in our new direction, what do I say? I mean, thank you so much. You guys are the ones that are actually making this possible for us, and we are going to make it worth your while, trust me. And if you are in our Patreon category that's I Want to Go Sailing, be sure and stick around till the end of this video because we're going to draw 2 more names of those of you that are going to be invited to come down and join us in our travels right now. But we are going to have some special trips coming up right now as we are about to leave Antigua and heading for St. Martin. So we're going to be doing some documenting there. But if anybody would like to do a trip around St. Martin, we've got Anguilla, we got St. Bart's, so that all can be covered in about a week's time. And then we are going over to the British Virgin Islands and going to spend a bit of time there. Now, we're not going to be too long in any one of these zones because my goal and main objective is to get in, finish our mission, and get out before hurricane season rolls in. And after we finish in the Virgin Islands, we'll be going down to the ABC Islands, probably starting with Bonaire, Aruba, Curacao. We want to spend some time there before we head on to Colombia and Panama and San Blas, which is where we'll probably spend next season. So if any of you are looking for a special charter or anything like that, again, get in touch with me via email. We'll see what we can figure out for you. But we are going to spend a little bit of time exploring Colombia, Panama, and San Blas because that is supposed to be one of the most beautiful areas in the Western Caribbean before we go through Panama. On that said, here is the preview of what Brendan and I have been working since we left Grenada a while ago. And it's just a little snippet. I just want to give you an idea of the kind of mission that we're on right now before we take off and head down south and get out of here for the hurricane season. But to me, this is of prime importance because I'm going up to try and help as many of my friends as I can that were in the hurricane zone and the affected islands that were basically devastated, if not completely wiped out. So we're stopping at as many as we can, spending as much time as we can, and here's some samples from the first one. I hope you enjoy. Stick around till the end of the video, and I will talk to you again then.
So the forest teaches a lesson. It says, hey, look, Dominicans' life continue, you know? So never give up. Because when we look, we see the forest start growing back. Very nice and green. We listen to the forest and we don't give up. I tell you, I was afraid myself because I said, hey, that's not a category 4. Because I was in David in 79.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not a category 4. That's over 5. And the wind is singing, you can hear things flying, you can hear like people crying, you know. But you can't go out because it's in the night. You can't see anything. Everything's shut down. No electricity, nothing. And the wind's so strong, like the house is vibrating, like shaking, like an earthquake. So I sit on the bed, man, and I tell you, wind and rain. And a certain time, the wind like died down a little, and you hear like something coming, like rumbling, like coming. And all I tell the kids, like, you know, just ready to run. I feel now the house gonna break. You know, the force of wind, it take mostly half of my uncle's house, and the other house next side me just go with the house. When I peep in the window, I see like the branch from the tree is like unsticking on the trees, man. I say, oh my God, everybody gonna die. I was terrified. I was like afraid. Normally when they were in shelter, and when they step out, they see that they have no home and all their belongings just vanish because the wind would take everything. Everything, refrigerator, stove, you know, whatever you have in the house, it will just take.
If there is one thing that I can tell you for certain, is that that teaser does not even scrape the surface of what we have recorded and witnessed and just tried to document while we've been on this trip. That is just the start of Dominica. That was my good friend Alexis that we did the first interview with. Everything that we've done has been interviews, you know, and just conversations with my friends, their friends, just anybody who was affected by this, what can you call it, except maybe a natural disaster. I mean, this was, I think, the biggest storm that's been documented to date, or one of two that both happened last season here in the Caribbean. And they wreaked havoc on all of my places that I called home for many, many years, and devastated many of my friends that I consider family. So where do we go from here? Well, we're going to keep going. We are in Antigua right now, as I said. Next stop is Saint Martin. We're going to Saint Martin, and then we're going to BVIs and possibly USVIs. We're going to make as many stops as we can in the amount of time allotted, and then we need to get the hell out basically before next storm season comes in. Because one thing you will see as this series evolves is that a lot of my friends are very, very concerned for what's going to happen this coming season. Nobody knows, is it going to be worse? What's going to happen? They just know that they're only starting to scrape the surface of actually getting rebuilt now, and hurricane season starts again in a month. So we are very much trying to help out as much as we can, and that's all thanks to support of you guys. So I want you guys to become as much involved as possible, so that's why we are going to do another quick draw here for 2 of our patrons' names, and I have those names all here in the bucket. So I'm going to invite 2 of you to come down and join us on this mission, adventure, whatever you want to call it. And anybody else who wants to join, just send us an email. We'll have some opportunities set up for you to come down as a cost sharing or expense sharing opportunity as well. And so the names we're going to draw tonight, I'm going to pull 2 names out of our I Want to Go Sailing category, our bucket, you remember? The first one, wow, Crystal Young. Crystal Young LTD Sailing. Awesome. I hope you can make it, Crystal. It'd be great to have you up here for this and have you along as we document some of these northern territories. I know you said you've never been up here actually, so that's going to be very interesting to have you along for if you're able. And the next one is Rick Boyd. Hey, Rick Boyd, I think you were drawn one of the previous draws, but you weren't able to make it, and if you're able to make it this time, now's the time. We are going to be in Saint Martin, you guys, so we're heading there now. So Saint Martin is going to be for the next week, maybe 2, before we move on to the BVIs. So certainly it's easier to fly into Saint Martin than it is the BVIs. So
So you guys let me know if you can make it. It'd be great to have you along, and we'll see what we can set up. And for the rest of you, if some of you want to join, just send me an email at rick@ambientreallife.com, and we'll see what we can work out for you guys also. But we got limited time up here. We're only going to be in the area for the next month maximum, and then heading south to get out of hurricane zone before anything happens this year, because I just don't trust it anymore, and not worth the risk. So drop us a line. Look forward to your comments below. Look forward to seeing some of you on board. And just as a little ending for you, here's my epilogue from as we were departing Dominica. And it was fairly emotional. You know, I'd seen a lot of stuff. I just didn't know what we were going to see. And that island was devastated. So here's my epilogue. And I hope you guys enjoy and realize what it is that we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring you some new content that you're going to appreciate. And also help a lot of my friends at the same time. Because they've been really abandoned by a lot, you know, civilization, culture, their governments, insurance companies, you name it, they've been abandoned. So we're trying to do what we can, and I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing you in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye for now.
Alright, so it is Saturday in May, and we are just leaving our beloved Dominica. We're putting Portsmouth, Dominica to our rudder, and not sure if we're going to be returning again or not, but we have been here for almost a week in Dominica and just documenting all of the hurricane recovery efforts and progress. And all I can say is they went through some serious shit here, and it really makes you wonder, what would you do in the same circumstance? I mean, what did we learn here? I think that we learned in the face of all adversity that somehow mankind or humans do still come together and do anything it takes to survive. You have to put yourself in that position. What would you do if you woke up one morning and you're standing out in the street and all your neighbors are out there in the same thing, just looking around going, what just happened? Everything is gone. Your house is destroyed. There's no food. There's no water. The rivers are all overrun. Everything is covered in mud and rocks. What do you do? That's the kind of adversity. I mean, we don't have any clue what we would do, most of us. I know I don't. I've never been in that kind of position, so how would you know? I hope I'm never in that kind of position, but, you know, been in different positions, emergencies at sea and things like that, where you have to get to action, but nothing like that. Wondering where your next dinner is going to come from, your next glass of water, you know, everything. Wondering if your family's still alive, because maybe they were down the street at neighbors and you can't even get to the neighbor's house that's only a block away. There's a million variables, and you can't even imagine what it would be like to go through without having gone through it. So, our heart goes out to Dominica. We've done what we can, and now we move on. So next island, we're now heading to Les Saints. We're just going to do an overnight there and then on up to Guadeloupe. So that was not an island struck by the hurricane, but it is on our way north, and we're going to stop over there and then possibly Antigua after that on our way to St. Martin. So on our course, on our way.